Hello everybody, welcome back to the Arsenal Fan Reviews channel, and I'm here today to bring you my preview and predicted lineup for Arsenal versus Benfica in the first leg of the Europa League round of 32, and I'm joined by a special guest, Glenn Kightley. Thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Awesome, man. I'm always happy to be here. Ready for the Europa League. I hope you're well too.
Yeah, I'm great, thank you, and no problem. Yes, I mean, it's going to be a tough match. I was quite nervous going into it, but after having heard a couple of Benfica fans, they don't seem too confident either. So that's kind of boosted me up. But what have you made of both teams this season? I mean, we've got the league tables on the screen there. Benfica, their form hasn't been great. Yes, they're fourth. So as Arsenal fans, we can't really say a bad word about that. But they're not usually that low in their league. And Arsenal, 10th. We've both really struggled, haven't we?
Yeah, like when the draw was made, was it December or something? I had no idea which position Benfica was. I'm not even sure which position they were when the draw was made, maybe third or second, until recently when we were talking to the Benfica fans and they actually mentioned that they're having a poor season. And then I quickly checked and I realized they're like 13 points behind Sporting, who have not won the title in a while. So it's a good thing for us. The thing I realized when the draw was made, I remember that they actually didn't do well in their group stage that well, because I remember Rangers drawing with them both home and away, even though Rangers has had a good season with Gerrard this season. So I think for them, the worst season is probably for us, because we keep dropping and dropping. Them being fourth in such a poor league, it's maybe in the same position right now, but for both teams, definitely underwhelming. For us, probably worse, I'd say. So both teams are definitely looking to the Europa League.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you said both teams looking to the Europa League. Do you think that this is pretty much the thing we need to focus on now? Do you think we can still get a top six? I'm not going to say top four, but a top four out of the Premier League? Or is this what we have to focus on with our best team?
I usually say I don't agree with anyone who says forget about the league and focus on the Europa League. I don't really agree that. I don't like putting all the eggs in one basket. As I always say, if it just takes one penalty away to Benfica and we are done, and then the season is over. No, I actually think it's easier to finish in the top six right now than it is to win the Europa League still, because those teams that are above us, West Ham, Aston Villa, which other team is there? Those kind of teams, Everton, I don't feel like all of them will finish in the top 8. I feel like West Ham will drop off. I feel like Everton will drop a couple of points. So there's still a chance. Yes, they have games in hand, including Everton tonight against Manchester City, but I think they lose. So we still have a chance. Yes, we have Leicester, we had Leeds, we have City. But after that, I looked at the games. There's a time we have West Brom at home, and then I think Sheffield United away from home, or Fulham at home. They're like 6 to 8 games that are very good. So if you get a run of games there and you win like 5 out of the 6, all of a sudden you're up to 6. So for me, I'm not up to focusing on the Europa League alone. I think top 6 is actually easier than Europa League. But yeah, I'm hoping for a good run in the Europa League, because if we go out to Benfica, it's not going to be good for us. It's going to be a poisonous fan base. But
yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I can see where you're coming from, and I can also see where the people saying we do need to, just put our best team into this competition and just try and get the win. So I can see both sides of the story, but what I'd go for is just try our best in everything, really, get as many points as possible, because even if the league was completely finished and we were still down in 15th, every win, every draw as well, boosts our confidence. So just play your best, I think, and we'll see how far we can go. But, of course, this game will be played at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome due to some COVID restrictions. But this first leg is classed as an away game, and the away goal rule still will be in place. So, I mean, I personally think it would have been better to just have found one neutral stadium somewhere, whether that's in England or wherever, play the 90 minutes and settle it there. UEFA, their argument is pretty much both teams, or other teams, are still going to have to play both legs. So, we'd have more fitness than them. But honestly, in terms of COVID as well, that means you've got a team coming from England, going to Rome, and then having to go to Greece and back. I thought, what have you made of this whole situation with this stadium pass?
I think I think they don't have a choice. They have to pick somewhere. And I actually heard that the team is the one that actually looks for the stadium and not UEFA. It's the team that decides where they're going to go and play. And I heard if you don't beat the deadline, you actually lose 3-0. Like if Arsenal doesn't like choose Greece as fast as possible, or chooses Rome, or chooses whichever other city, you get I think banned for that game or something. So I think it's something they have to do. I'd probably have removed the away goals because it's literally not fair to anyone. I think it's kind of maybe an advantage for us because we've played at Olympiacos last season. So for the home game, it's kind of an advantage, but I don't think they could have done anything else. So I think it's just doing what they have to do. At least they did have both teams playing at neutral venues. If one was playing somewhere different and the other one playing at home, then it would have been definitely not fair. So I'm okay with that one anyway.
Yeah, that is true, but let's just hope next year or the year after we can finally get back to normal. But let's look at a couple of injuries. Of course, Thomas Partey and Kieran Tierney both been out for a couple of weeks now, a couple of games. Partey been a huge miss, but we do have a positive update on Kieran Tierney because Arteta has just said in his press conference, his pre-match press conference, that he is in full team training. He has travelled with the squad and could possibly even start at the left-back position. So how much do you think we have missed these two guys? And would you start Kieran? Because, of course, he's carried our left side's creativity, but I don't want to rush him back and get another injury.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm also one of those very scared fans. I'm like, what if he plays and then he goes out? Just give him another 2 months to recover. I'm always like, no, just don't play him. But I actually put him in the predicted lineup. I think Arteta will start him, and that was on Monday before they say that he's going to be back. But I wouldn't put him anyway. It's the first leg. Let Cedric and Bellerin play. Let Sabas play in the middle. He played well. Don't rush Tierney back. We still have a lot of games, hopefully, in the Europa League. City coming up. I wouldn't put him for City anyway as well. So Leicester next week. We have Benfica again. So all those games is when I'm going to bring him back. So I don't really think I would bring him in. I think the team that we have can do the job right now.
Yeah, I agree. He can't. I mean, he's one of those really injury-prone players, and I would hate to see him out for another couple of weeks. But let's talk about some strategies. So I would personally go all out in this first leg, really attacking, of course. If we do win, it's the away goals because, as I said, that rule still is in play. It's a boost in confidence, as always. It's a win. And it's a win. We've got those goals. And then in the second leg, I would play quite defensively, not really attack at all because, of course, on Sunday we have Man City. So they've got a super bright, young, fast-paced squad and will probably still be quite tired from that, having to travel around and just play them. And in terms of formation, just quickly looking at Benfica, Jorge Jesus does usually line them up in a 4-4-2 position, formation. And he's actually done that for 75% of the games this season, whereas Arteta usually puts us in the 4-2-3-1 formation, and he's done that 40% for our games. But how would you play? What's your kind of strategy?
I actually feel in one of those games is going to go back to a back five. I kind of think so because since we have Holding fit, Luis fit, Pablo Mari fit, every one of those defenders fit, I actually feel like somewhere in the second leg or somewhere in the first leg you'll have a back five. But for me, I just have the back four, same usual back four, Cedric, Bellerin. I'd have Luis ahead of Holding again. They played really well with Gabriel. So Luis and Gabriel. And then in midfield, obviously, Xhaka and Sabais don't have many options. And then in front of them, that's where I'll get a bit controversial because I know most of you want Pepe to start because he rested and blah, 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 all that. But I wouldn't start him. And I know Aubameyang played really well center position. And they actually fear a lot of pace, Benfica. Speaking to the Benfica fans, they're like, they're scared of the pace because of Otamendi and Vertonghen not having pace. I understand that, but I'd still have Lacazette in the team. Try and get as many goals as you can away from home. I'd play Lacazette up front, Aubameyang on the left, Saka on the right, and Smith Rowe as the number 10. And not really a 4-2-3-1. I'd have Aubameyang drifting into the middle most of the times to make it like a 4-4-2 or something like that. Smith Rowe on the left a bit, Saka on the right. I think that way you can get goals because they concede a lot of goals, Benfica. So from the bench, you could have Pepe, Odegaard, Martinelli. But I still don't mind if Aubameyang starts up front and we have like a Martinelli on the left or something because they don't have pace. So that is what you can depend on.
So yeah, that's your kind of lineup. Mine's on the screen now. So mine is pretty similar to the one we played against Leeds the other day. I'd go with Leno in goal. The back four would be Tierney and Cedric if that is kind of possible. But, after kind of thinking about it now, I think for the first leg at least, we should put Cedric at left back, Bellerin. The back two, I'd go with Luiz and Gabriel. And then Xhaka, Ceballos and Odegaard. That link-up really did seem to work, especially Ceballos and Odegaard. That link-up from Real Madrid was brilliant, and potentially we could sign Ceballos permanently. Those have been the rumours coming out recently. I would put Pepe out on the left. As I said, he has rested, and I think that's what Arteta was trying to do. Aubameyang up front, I don't really think you can drop him from there, although putting him out on the left, it could work. And, of course, Saka out on the right. But, of course, everyone let me know your predicted lineup down below, how you play and everything. But one thing I did want to touch on with the lineup is about the goalkeeper. Lots of people have been suggesting maybe we play Matt Ryan in this game and the second leg, or if we really do win 3-0, 4-0 tomorrow, we can play Leno, and then the next leg we go with Matt Ryan. Would you swap any keepers about?
Okay, if we have Ryan for those 2 games, that's fine. He's not a terrible goalkeeper. He can do the job. But since we're in such a crucial part of in our season, we can't afford to go out. We need all our best players on the pitch, and he's one of them who we need on the pitch. So I definitely have to start Leno. And then in the next game, maybe you could give Ryan a chance if you're like 3-0 ahead or something, because he has to play some games. Unfortunately, we went out of the FA Cup after he joined, so he literally has no many chances. Up front, I'm happy that we have different options. I don't mind your team. If Pepe starts, I'm okay. If Smith Rowe starts, I'm okay. Odegaard, Martinelli, that's a good headache to have. I have 6-7 players up front there who, if they start, I'm okay. Apart from one, and his name, I'm not going to mention him. But the goalkeeper, I have to start Leno, our best goalkeeper. We're in such a crucial time of our season. You can't afford to lose any game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But let's get on to the last question of the day, the big one. What is your score prediction? Let's get it done. Glenn, what is yours?
I'm going to go for goals in the first leg. Benfica 2, Arsenal 3. 3-2. 3-2 to Arsenal. I think we'll score fast, and then they'll probably equalize, and then we'll get another, and then they'll equalize again, and then we'll get a second half goal or something like that. But I'm hoping for 4-0, but 3-2 to Arsenal.
And after the 2 legs, who do you think will be progressing into the next round?
I think for the second leg, we could see something like a 1-1. So 4-3 on aggregate. We beat them 4-3 on aggregate. Aubameyang will score in one of those games. Willian will score his first Arsenal goal.
Let's hope so. I mean, of course, that would kind of boost his confidence. I know people have been talking about that, but
I couldn't say one game. I have to give him 2 games. One game is not enough for Willian to get a goal.
Well, my score prediction, I would actually go for 2-2. Both teams pretty attacking. So I think we'll get 2 away goals. It may be something like a 1-0 win to us next round, but for sure I think we will get through. But again, I'm not going to be too confident because with Arsenal, anything can happen. But that about wraps it up for today. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you, Glenn, for coming on.
No problem, always, man.
And
let's
hope
we win.
Fingers crossed. And of course, there will be a link down below in the description to his channel. So make sure to go and subscribe to this channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.